B and B What to Watch Moments, August 25. Ridge is presented with a new fashion line. Fashion, family, ambition, and a potentially game-changing business opportunity collide on the bold, and the beautiful as Ridge Forrester finds himself presented with a new fashion line. The August 25 episode promises to put Ridge in a familiar but complicated position, deciding whether a new creative vision is worthy of the Forrester name. For Ridge, fashion has never been merely a career. It is his identity, his legacy, and one of the most important ways he connects with his family. That means presenting him with a new collection is about much more than whether the clothes look good. It is about whether Ridge believes the person behind the line understands what fashion really means. And that could make this pitch far more complicated than anyone expects. Ridge gets a new fashion proposal. One of the biggest moments to watch involves Ridge being presented with a new fashion line. At first, the proposal may appear to be a straightforward business opportunity. A designer or creative team has a vision, and Ridge is asked to evaluate it. But anyone who knows Ridge understands that he doesn't make decisions based solely on business. He wants originality. He wants passion. Most importantly, he wants fashion that tells a story. That means the new collection will have to impress him on multiple levels. If Ridge sees something ordinary, derivative, or commercially motivated without artistic substance, he won't hesitate to say so. However, if the designs capture his attention, the consequences could be much bigger. Ridge could find himself considering a completely new direction for Forrester Creations. What does Ridge see in the collection? The central question is what makes this new fashion line special. Perhaps the collection has a younger, more modern energy. Maybe it represents a style that Forrester Creations hasn't explored before. That could immediately catch Ridge's attention. Fashion is constantly evolving, and even an established legend like Ridge knows that a company cannot survive by repeating the past forever. A successful fashion house has to reinvent itself. Ridge could therefore see this collection as an opportunity to bring something fresh to Forrester Creations while still preserving the company's identity. But that balance won't be easy. If the line is too traditional, it may fail to attract new customers. If it is too experimental, Ridge could worry that it doesn't belong under the Forrester name. That tension could dominate his decision. Ridge's creative instincts take over. When Ridge evaluates fashion, the designer in him often takes over. He doesn't simply look at fabric, colors, and silhouettes. He considers the emotion behind the collection. What is the designer trying to say? Who is the woman or man wearing these clothes? What kind of story does the collection tell? Those questions could lead Ridge into a deeper conversation about the new line. He may challenge the person presenting it to him. Ridge could ask why certain choices were made or question whether the collection has enough individuality to stand out in a crowded market. That doesn't necessarily mean he dislikes what he sees. In fact, Ridge's criticism could be a sign that he sees potential. When Ridge believes something is worth saving, he tends to push hard to make it better. A threat to Forrester Creations. There could be another side to this story. What if Ridge discovers that the new fashion line isn't simply an opportunity, but a potential threat? If another designer has created a collection that could compete with Forrester Creations, Ridge may have to decide whether to embrace the competition or fight it. That could create an intriguing dilemma. Ridge has spent decades protecting the Forrester legacy. He isn't likely to sit quietly while another company takes customers away from the family business. But the fashion industry doesn't reward complacency. If the new collection is genuinely good, Ridge may recognize that the best response isn't to destroy the competition. It may be to learn from it. Family complications could follow. Of course, nothing involving Ridge's professional life stays professional for long. The moment a new fashion line enters the picture, family opinions could become unavoidable. Someone at Forrester Creations may love the collection. someone else could hate it. And there could be disagreements about who deserves credit for bringing the opportunity to Ridge. If Ridge decides to move forward, certain family members may feel threatened. Perhaps they believe the new line will take attention away from their own designs. Maybe someone fears that Ridge is replacing an established creative direction. That could turn a simple business presentation into another Forrester family conflict. Could this be about the next generation? There is also the possibility that the new fashion line represents a changing of the guard. Ridge has spent much of his life building and protecting a legacy, but eventually, someone has to carry that legacy forward. A new collection could give Ridge a chance to determine who has the creativity and confidence to become the next major force at Forrester Creations. That could be especially important if the designs come from someone younger. Ridge might initially be skeptical, but the collection could force him to reconsider his assumptions. Perhaps the person behind it isn't ready to replace Ridge, but maybe they are ready to learn from him. That could create an interesting mentor and student dynamic. Steffi and Hope could have opinions. Any major fashion decision is likely to affect Steffi and Hope. Both women have strong connections to the Forrester fashion world, and both understand how quickly a professional decision can become personal. Steffi could see the new collection as either a valuable opportunity or a threat to the company's position. Hope might approach it differently, especially if the collection offers a more youthful aesthetic. Their reactions could reveal just how important Ridge's decision will become. If they disagree, the fashion line could become another source of tension between the two women. And if they both want control over the project, Ridge could find himself caught in the middle. Ridge may face an impossible choice. The biggest drama could come when Ridge realizes that accepting the collection means making difficult choices. Does he bring the new line into Forrester Creations? Does he allow the designer complete creative freedom? Does he make changes? Or does he reject the proposal altogether? There may not be an obvious answer. Ridge could love the collection, but dislike the business strategy behind it. He could admire the designer while worrying about whether the Forrester brand can support the project. Or he could initially reject the idea, only to realize later that he made a mistake. Soap operas thrive on those kinds of reversals. Fashion could become the next battleground. The August 25 episode may ultimately establish another major battlefield in the Forrester world. The company has survived betrayals, romances, rivalries, and business wars before, but fashion itself remains at the heart of everything. A new line could change the company's future. It could also expose tensions that have been hiding beneath the surface. Ridge's decision may therefore be more important than it initially appears. If he approves the collection, Forrester Creations could enter a fresh creative era. If he rejects it, someone else could take the designs elsewhere and turn them into a huge success. Imagine Ridge watching a collection he dismissed become the hottest new thing in Lowe's Angels. That could be a painful lesson. What to watch for on August 25. The key moments to watch include Ridge's first reaction to the new collection, his questions about the creative vision, and whether he sees the line as a threat or an opportunity. Watch for subtle changes in Ridge's expression as he examines the designs. If Ridge becomes unusually quiet, that could mean he is impressed. If he starts asking difficult questions, it could mean he sees potential. And if he immediately begins talking about how the collection could fit into Forrester Creations, the situation could become much bigger than anyone expected. The August 25 episode could therefore mark the beginning of a new chapter for Ridge, and potentially for the entire Forrester fashion empire. In the world of the bold and the beautiful asterisk, a fashion line is never just a collection of clothes.